a number one. I think we are an odd number.
Right.
So
Not.
So yeah.
11. So
We're getting threesome. So yeah,
No
looks like you're in a threesome.
way.
I mean, you're in good company because I've got a number 2, so I'm probably going to be in a threesome. And yes, and who's there for number 3 appointment? It's Louis. So yes, Louis may be randomly
it's not that
joining
kind
the
of
conversation
meeting,
for a
though,
threesome.
so you
Oh,
know.
no, I was thinking, hang on, I've come to the right.
Yeah, that's the evening group.
Oh, is it?
In for breakfast.
Evening.
You don't get none of that.
Yeah. It's a night special.
Is it?
I've got the cut price condoms if you want them.
Oh, yeah.
Crashing on, we now come to the Foresight Sludge, which isn't a sales pitch, but an insight into a specialist field, experience, or an interesting area of your life. Foresights are a brilliant way to raise your profile and to sharpen your presentation skills. So, if you are a Passport member and want to present to this group, please see me after the meeting. Today, we have Luke Hamish from Jellyfielders Limited with a foresight entitled "How to Build a Successful Strategy."
I think the conversation actually called the ice cream.
Yes, it's that one. Thank you. Luke, take it away.
So we're live streaming today. That's why it's all a bit all over the place. Yeah, so just to warn you, there are cameras around. If you get up and walk in front of any of them, you're going to be on the internet, which is fine because you should want that anyway. So I'm Louise, and I'm from Jellyfielders, and we provide video. Yeah, you're
not meant to be here.
No, I'm just going to get
We provide video marketing and animation services. And we have been working since YouTube first launched. So since YouTube began, we have been making videos for YouTube. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is how you can build a video marketing strategy that works for your business. So firstly, video marketing strategy. Well, you want something that's bespoke, that tells your specific story. You want something that's on brand, that fits with your other or overall business messages. And you want something that's results driven, something that you can see, you can analyse, you can see how it's affecting your business, you can see how it is working for you. And you want something that's organic. So what we're going to talk about today is organic content marketing. That means you don't have to pay extra for SEO services or pay-per-click. SEO services and pay-per-click and Facebook advertising, they are great for businesses, they really do work. But before you get to that stage, you need to have a good content marketing strategy. So, after what you need, we've gone through that. We need to look at what you need. So what you need and what you want. Firstly, you want something that engages your target market. You want something that allows you to continue marketing to the same people over and over again, because that's how you work in consistent marketing, is by bringing that group of people together and being able to connect with them on those points before they make a sale. And you want something that converts. The reason people are using social media is to try and get sales. So we talk about capture points when we're talking about your marketing strategy, and there are 4 capture points. You've got your search engines, so Google searches or Bing or Yahoo, if people are still using those. You've got social media, you've got your website, and you've got YouTube. Those are the 4 points that people can find you online and you can attract them into your business. So when we talk to our clients, and this is a big problem we faced for quite some time, they always talk to us in terms of stylistic choices for their videos. We want a green screen video or a talking head video or an animation or our least favourite, a viral video. These are sorts of descriptions that people use when they talk to us about their video, but it doesn't actually tell us the key point, which is, what is your message? So working on your message doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a specific style of video. You can tell exactly the same message through green screen as you can through animation. It's really about what your business brand is and what message is for you and who your target market is, and how that all works together to actually make those sales. So, with that in mind, we created the ice cream model of marketing. And the ice cream model of video marketing, to be more precise, which looks at 4 distinct types of video and how you can use them in your business. Only 4. You don't need more than these 4 types of video. And we call them cornerstone, resources, bragging rights, and active video. And we'll come to active video a bit later on, but that's what I was talking about the workshop that we're running in January. So let's start with the cornerstone video. So your cornerstone video is who you are and what you do. Tells your audience everything that they need to know in a little snapshot about your business. Usually it's placed on the last page of your website. Welcoming introduction to people when they first come to your website. Thankfully, text there, it tells you can directly speak to people through the internet, through your website, and they get to know you and build trust that way. So a cornerstone video should generally be updated every 12 months or 2 years. These are really great videos because they last quite a while. So long as the information is still correct, you're still offering the same services, or you've still got the same team members, your cornerstone video will last. They also shouldn't be longer than 3 minutes. This is to maximise your video views online. People tend to get bored quite quickly. But if they're searching for a service and you've got a quality video on your website, they're willing to watch it. Now, the reason video on your website is for two main reasons. Firstly, when there's a video on your homepage, people will stay longer on there. It's about 25%, but it depends what you're selling. Generally, if people see a video, they're more likely to click on it than read through long text. The longer people are on the website, the more time you've got to sell to them. The second reason is that pages of the video are 53 times more likely to be indexed on the first page of Google. So just by having a video on your homepage, you're automatically helping your organic SEO and building up your Google rankings. So that's an overview of the cornerstone video. Let's go back to our capture points that we talked about earlier. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a cornerstone video on our YouTube channel. And the reason we do this is because we can embed it to the website. Now, Google owns YouTube, so they love YouTube and they love all the YouTube juice. It really helps with your organic search rankings. So that's why we embed it to the website. I know a lot of people have uploaded it directly to their website because they think YouTube is ugly, or they're worried about the advertising on YouTube from other businesses at the end of the video. But in reality, the juice that you get from being on YouTube is far more important than any ads or just the general viewer of the player and how ugly YouTube is. Sorry, YouTube, but it is a bit of an ugly player. So we always suggest that you put it on YouTube and you embed to your website, and when people search for business terms, so search for plumber or search for health and safety in London, then that's when you start ranking. And your Google will use your YouTube entries and your website with the video on it to build that up. It also allows you to feed that information back to Google for your search results. We also suggest that you put a mini cornerstone video on your social media pages. So that's just kind of a cut down version of your cornerstone video. And what that does is it sends people back to YouTube or to your website. So you're kind of keeping that little circle going there with people moving around your various content. Second type of video that we suggest people have is resources. Now, resources are a chance for you to prove what an expert you are in your industry. Give away free little tips, hints, or pieces of information that can help your target market. Resources are great because they last for a really long time. They last as long as the information is accurate. And then we call them evergreen content because people are continuously searching for them. The more people search for them, the higher you rank. The higher you rank, the more people will find you. The more people will find you, the more people will search for you. And it just creates this consistency where they're going around in circles. Now, we suggest that resource videos are around the 10-minute mark, but reality is they can be as long as you want them to be. What you shouldn't do is you shouldn't waffle, you shouldn't put needless kind of intros or sales promos in there. Just go straight for the information. People want to get to it, they want to know the answers, and they want to be able to move on with their day. So if you're doing a video that's 10 minutes long, why not try thinking about moving it down into chapters or releasing it as separate parts? With YouTube, you can have great playlists and you can put all your videos into a playlist. People can watch one after the other, or they can just leave after the first video if that's what they want to do. So resource videos are important because 94% of people online share something they feel might be helpful for someone else. So all that good sharing that's happening and people sharing stuff outside your immediate network, that's all done because people think the information might be helpful to someone else. So it's great that you've got a Facebook page, it's great that you're on LinkedIn, but your network is like this. And unless you're sharing content outside of that network, you're not going to reach these people in the peripherals. What you want is the people in your network to be sharing that information outwards. And the reason they do that is because they think it's going to be helpful for their network. The other reason is that 70 to 80% of users, and I'm sure everybody in the room has done this, they skip paid ads on Google and go straight for the first organic search result. And the reason you do this is because in some ways you kind of think, well, they've paid to be at the top. So you don't necessarily know how relevant that information is. But when it comes to resource videos, the top organic results are going to be the ones that people go to consistently, that they look at, that is actually helpful, has the most shares to it, has the most comments on it. So that is why we suggest that resource videos should always sit on YouTube. And what you should do is embed them to a blog on your website. Now, this gives both a written version of the information you're giving out, as well as a video version. And that's really great because YouTube and Google love one another. So when people are searching for answers to these questions, for example, how do I do video marketing for my business, what you'll find is that Google are picking up on these two areas and they're sending people back to your resource content. We also suggest that you do resource trailers on social media. So these are little kind of tiny tips. If you've got a 10-minute video, it's quite easy to take a couple of sound bites from that and create a short little trailer to go on social media. And what that does is it shares from your social media back to your YouTube channel and back to your website. Again, creating this consistent circle of people moving between your content, which Google just loves. It also begins to help with your, social media also begins to help with your search engine optimization here, because you've got a lot of people moving around your system. And that's what Google likes to see, people moving, reading something on another website, then moving on, and keeping them in the system. The third type of video we talk about is bragging rights. Now, bragging rights are your chance to be proud and shout and boast about what you do. Now, a lot of people have a problem with this when it comes to their business, especially us Brits are quite coy about it, and we don't necessarily like going out there and bragging about ourselves. But this is a really great opportunity, and the way we suggest you do that is through the voice of your happy clients. So testimonial with your customers, great way of building trust. Also, they're more reliable when people to their website. You're more likely to believe someone who's had a video produced of their customers saying how great your service was. Text that you've written saying, that could be written by anybody saying, I am great for these reasons. So this is why we think that bragging rights are one of the top videos that all service businesses should have. So bragging under 3 minutes, again, for those maximum video views, and you should try and update them every 6 months or so, just so you've got a lot of good testimonials coming through and keep them refreshed. So customer testimonials and case studies are considered the most effective type of content marketing by 80% of B2B marketers. Now, that might be a little bit misleading because, people in marketing, they like to take these statistics and kind of make them seem like they're more impressive than they are. But this is actually one statistic I think is really important, is that marketing people, and a lot of marketing people across the board, if you go and speak to them and they ask for advice on your marketing strategy, one of the first things they'll say is get some testimonials, specifically video testimonials. So if we go back to our capture points, we are going to put our bragging rights video on YouTube again, and we're going to embed it to our About Us or Our Work page. And what that does is it gives Google a secondary page on your website to rank with video. So now you've got two pages, your home page and this other page, About Us page, that's showing video that Google is ranking. So that helps Google with the rankings, as we said. And then you can put some mini vox pops onto your social media channels, take your testimonials and cut them down to bite-sized pieces, which can send people back to YouTube to see the longer video, or to your website to find out more about you. And again, you've got that nice consistency moving around. The fourth type of video that we look at is active. Now, active video is a big topic because it's everything you post on social media. We've already talked about some active videos in terms of bragging rights and mini cornerstone videos. So an active video, as you know from social media, should be short, should be under a minute, and they don't last very long at all. Depending how regular you're posting, they can last anything from a couple of hours to a week. So you need to be posting consistently. And the reason we suggest we do that is that visual content is 40 times more likely to get shared on social media than other types of content. So you've got a video or image, people are more likely to share it. So this kind of actually works back to your resource videos as well. When you're sharing resource videos, this is a great statistic that kind of works in there as well. People share helpful stuff and they'll share visual stuff. The second point is that posts with videos attract 3 times as many inbound links as plain text posts. So if you've got a post with a video that's got a link to it, it's more likely to attract people clicking on that link and going to where you're sending them to, which is what you want to do, get them back to your website. So if we go back to our nice little capture points here, we put all of our active content out on social media, but a lot of it can link to the longer form content that we've already talked about for YouTube, which can also link back to your website in the form of blogs, product videos, service videos, lots of short little videos that way. Again, social media here backing up your Google search engine results because they're seeing people moving around your content system. So if we go back to the beginning of our contact points, we've got our active video in here. We just add in our cornerstone video, add in our resources content, and add in our bragging rights content. We can see we've created this ecosystem where once we've captured a client in between our capture points, we can keep them moving around. And this is a really great way of bringing prospects into your overall network and be able to keep them there and keep them moving around with this interesting, informative content that you're creating. So where's the ice cream? Well, we came up with the ice cream model because we wanted some way to explain to clients simply the 4 types of content they need. So first up, cornerstone video. This is your cone. It's the thing that people hold on to. It's the foundation of all of your other marketing strategies. The ice cream is your resources. Now, this is the tasty bit, the informative bit, the thing that people come to you for, your expertise. They don't necessarily come to you for a product or a service. They come to you because you are selling something and you are the person they're buying. So resource videos are like your ice cream. That's the thing that people come into your store for. Next up is the active video. And this is like all your sprinkles and sauce. It doesn't really do much in terms of tell people who you are, what you do. What it does is it creates an exciting look to your business. It attracts people in, and it's kind of wording we use as eye candy for your business. And then the final one is bragging rights. And this is like your flake, or if you've seen some of those crazy fruit shake type ice creams, you come over, macaroons, whatever you want to stick in the top, how special you are. So that is why we consider it the ice cream model. So before I go, I just want to leave you five top tips for your video production, your video marketing. Firstly, make the most out of filming. If you speak to your video production company or your videographer, or even if you're filming yourself, if you arrange for filming for a day, make the most out of it. If you are doing interviews, see what B-roll you can get, because it can all be cut down and put into other content. You can repurpose so much content, and it's one of the things that a lot of videographers are doing now more often. They're creating archives for their clients, where you can come back and use different pieces of footage in different order time and time again. Next tip, some of the content you can make yourself. And this is what I talked about earlier. There are workshops, you don't even need workshops, everybody's got a mobile phone in their pocket, you all know how you use the camera. There's tips online that you can find, there's online tutorials as well, there's a wealth of information out there that can tell you how you can use your mobile phone to film and edit your videos. So we've got 2 mobile phones up here today, and we'll talk a little bit more about what we're going to do at the end of the meeting, which is also going to be mobile phones, just to show you how easy it is to make your own video content. Tip 3, you can break content down into shorter pieces. So earlier I talked about a resource video, and one of the things that we do a lot with our clients is a top 10 tips for whatever they're doing. So we worked with a digital marketing company who had a top 10 Facebook tips, and we broke those down into individual videos. So each video was a minute long, their overall video was 10 minutes. The 10-minute video went on YouTube, and then over 10 weeks they released each tip one at a time on Facebook and on LinkedIn, sending the people back to that resource video. So that one resource video lasted them 10 weeks of social media content as well, and that all leads back to their website at the end of it. Number 4, no one is happy with how they look on camera. Now this is the biggest stepping stone that our clients have to come across. If they understand video, they want video, they're getting behind it, they've got their budgets and their timeline sorted, their biggest problem is, I don't want to be on camera. But the truth is, nobody wants to be on camera. No one likes how they look, no one likes how they sound. I'm fortunate that I have someone with me who is dealing with all that, so I don't have to look at it. But it's just a stepping stone that you have to get over. We've all come to this meeting today looking how we look. So if you're prepared to be in a room with people that you could do business with, looking how you look today, you should also be prepared to be on video looking how you look today. That's one simple way of looking at it. And then our final tip is speak to your video production company, because a lot of video production companies now, and it's a growing trend, are offering pay-month fee packages. So you can work out what video content you need, you can speak to them and they'll arrange for you to pay over a period of time, which means you can start taking advantage of video content before you get to that point where you're paying for it, or you don't have to kind of save up that big cost that video production might be. There are 100 different ways to get started in video. The one thing we want to do is encourage people to do it, because it really does make a massive difference to your online marketing. So finally, any questions?
Do we get an ice cream now?
It's winter, I'm afraid. Actually, when we have done this presentation in the summer, we have given out ice cream. So maybe come back in
I'm
July.
back in July.
We'll have slots in July.
Yeah, we'll slot you
book you in for
in.
July, definitely.
So with the active videos,
Mhm.
so that's probably one of the ones that we use the most on Budget Dog.
Yeah.
We every week do a free download, and we probably do 4 tweets across all social media every day of the weekend. How would you recommend that we could get that out further afield, like from the UK? Like we got a good build up in the UK in terms of numbers. We've got a few people, but how would you probably recommend as a top tip to dip your
Get it
toes?
further out?
Yeah.
So really I'd need to look at kind of your social media platforms and what you're actually doing. I'm assuming you're using Instagram.
To automate all the things, we use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
when we do live streaming.
Okay.
And
I'm
YouTube.
I'm doing a bit of research actually at the moment about whether using third-party sharing platforms like Hootsuite actually affect the algorithms, because Facebook don't really like it.
Yeah.
So you should be using Facebook's internal scheduler if you're going to be scheduling posts.
Okay.
That's one thing I would say. The other thing is really kind of up on your hashtags. If you know the hashtags that you're using, you can reach your audience pretty quickly. A lot of people make the mistake of littering entire posts with hashtags to try and get the engagement across all of them, but it becomes a bit spammy and people kind of tend to do that. So really understanding hashtags, and because it's just the dodge of the dog, absolutely adorable. Because what you're working with is a dog. I mean, you've got a great subject there for people to be able to share and like on social media. So I imagine you're doing pretty well with pictures of a cute dog, as it does work. But no, I can have a chat with you. We can one afterwards and we can talk about it a bit further. But my two suggestions would be try and move away from using an external scheduler and check the hashtag you're using. Don't use too many. Use ones that are very specific to the audience that you want to meet.
Cool, thank you.
Any other questions?
Excellent. One thing that I will say is that recently I've been using Blimey Yell a lot for hosting videos on my website because I find the picture quality is slightly better than it is on YouTube, which tends to compress them. But am I better off going back to YouTube in terms of improving my search engine rankings?
I think if you look at it on the surface, and if you were to kind of go and ask Google, they would say, oh no, video is video and it's great. But at the end of the day, Google own YouTube. They're always going to be preferential over YouTube content than any other content. What I would suggest is if you like using Vimeo for kind of your show reels and presenter reels and things like that, that's a great place to use them to be able to send people as an example. I'd stick them on YouTube, get all your tagging on YouTube as well, just so you're getting the search engine function of that as well.
Okay.
You can always kind of add them onto a back end of your website through a blog and continue using the Vimeo ones up front. That might improve it slightly, but yeah, I would always make sure you've got them on YouTube, even if you're not sending them to people specifically to watch. We use Vimeo for our creative content, so we create creative short films, and we use Vimeo for that just purely because we like the player a bit more, and it differentiates between our corporate and our creative work. But generally, yeah, we try and make sure everything's put on YouTube so that we've got that social juice, that SEO juice.
Yeah, because I have uploaded them to YouTube. I think I just need to put the ones I've linked to on my website within Vimeo. So yeah, probably change that over.
Yeah, maybe think about that. But you can do that, and you can test it and see kind of if you're getting more reaction from that. There's also some really good software out there that can back-end search YouTube for meta tagging to find out what your competition are using and what meta tags are free that can really help you get to the top of YouTube searches quite quickly. We did a video about the ice cream model of video marketing, and we used a system to create our meta tagging and titling and description for us, and we were at the top of YouTube within 30 minutes. So and that's a big area of video marketing. It's dropped down now because that's the kind of way that SEO works, but there are ways that you can kind of get that up there straight away, which I can send you some link to afterwards.
Excellent. Thank you.
Any other questions?
We've still got a couple of minutes if anyone does have a question.
No. Just thumbs up. Mike, any questions online?
When you get your head.
Oh, really? I'll do it myself.
An ice cream parlour.
Yeah, it should be. Should we end there?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you
for
very
much.
Oh, no, sorry, I do have one more thing. Yeah, sorry. So when you go into an ice cream parlour, right, you saw the ice cream model, you can go up and you can ask for a free sample of ice cream. So we started a new series online called Calls the Shots, and it's our free sample of ice cream. Essentially, you get 30 seconds to answer each of 4 questions, so the video will be about 2 minutes long in the end. The questions are, who are you and what you do to cover your cornerstone? What is your top tip for businesses, for clients using your service, or for people who might want to get into the same industry as you? That's your resources covered. Your bragging rights, what are you most proud of? And then finally, where can people follow you online? So if anybody wants to come and get a free sample of the ice cream model afterwards today, Mike and I are both going to be kind of around filming them. It takes 5 minutes of your time, and kind of within the next couple of weeks online, there'll be a little video of you. We'll link it to you and share it on our Facebook page so that it's all linked in and you can share it with your audiences as well. So if anybody wants a free sample, come see me after the meeting.
Excellent.
Could I ask a question? I was interested in the segment that you said on bragging rights. And people are not always at ease with how they look and stuff like that. A lot of the products that we do are aimed at a much younger generation than me, even though I originated them. And the trouble is, when you go grey, younger people especially, seem to think you've lost the ability to tie your own shoelaces. So I've always felt that I'm the wrong person to promote the things that I actually originated.
Yeah.
So what's your view on that?
Well,
because you're playing into, it's a fake situation in a way.
I understand what you're saying. I think that I need to know more about your particular service and product. The reason that we suggest people do their own videos and their own videos is to build trust with their audience. And this is specifically important when you're offering personal services or financial services or anything like that. So depending on what your industry is and what you're selling, there may be other ways to do it, including getting actors in, finding some influencers on the particular channel that you're looking at, or even just turning directly to animation.